It's an Iraq deployment 20-year reunion. Please make your way over there for a group photo right now.
The men assigned to a decorated Buffalo-based battalion gathered this month in the warm sunshine in West Seneca, sharing laughs and embraces, stories and encouragement. This anniversary is important.
They are 20 years removed from what unfolded in the city of Hit, Iraq, in the middle of the resistance stronghold of Al-Anbar province.
A well-coordinated surprise attack by heavily armed insurgents and the Marines' heroic response to it. The summer of 2005 was growing increasingly hot, and not just because it was July in the middle of Iraq.
That's when the insurgency became what it was. It was increasing, IEDs were increasing. Unfortunately, the battalion suffered heavy losses, which is what prompted the Marine Corps to task Mike here and the additional 50 Marines to come out to bolster the, the holes and the lack of manpower we had at that time.
Tony Nigro spent more than 2 decades in the Marines and is now a New York State Trooper. He and nearly 7-year veteran Tim Ferenciu of Buffalo were already in Hit when their officer, Mike Niezgoda, arrived with dozens of others to fill out the ranks. They spent the summer guarding the 3-story schoolhouse that had been converted into a base, an assignment they felt held them back.
We were in a security posture at El Asad, and the frustrating thing for us was they had us almost in holding while all our brothers are out there getting wounded and getting killed. So we were ready to get into the fight. We didn't join the Marine Corps to guard a base.
Niezgoda arrived in the Hit area of operations with a new direction and amid a new posture for his unit. They were going on offense. But with just 11 days until their deployment came to an end, Niezgoda had orders for his men.
Don't get complacent. I want you to go home alive. Do your job, but you got 10 more days of this and a wake up, and then you're out of here.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Unbeknownst to us, within the next couple of days, the insurgents in that area had planned this massive attack against India Company.
As is the case for many of these battles, it began with a bang.
So our morning started off with, the ground trembling with the largest explosion any of us have ever felt or seen or heard. And that kicked off the events that morning. 15
Marines and 5 Navy corpsmen inside the base were injured in that explosion. Each of them lived.
But it was very, very well coordinated to simultaneously kick it off against 1, 2, 3, 4 positions at the same time. It's something I hadn't seen since the ground war, and it's something the after-action reports haven't seen since the Battle of Fallujah. So you're talking November of 2004 for us. Other units may have experienced something similar to that, but this was a 4-prong attack against every position.
I asked the guys if they felt outnumbered.
We weren't outnumbered, but we were very surprised. And the weapon systems they used, the mortar weapons, the RPGs, the vehicle improvised explosive device, the rifle fire, the rockets. It was a good planned attack by them to try to pin the firm base down, the Marines on patrol, but they thought wrong because the Marines immediately, countered, got into the windows on patrol at the outpost and started attacking targets of opportunity. If they're closing with, we're destroying them, and that's what happened.
The bullets and mortar still flying. Niezgoda hears chatter over the radio, directing his attention to the Euphrates River, and specifically a nearby bridge. On it, a vehicle. Moments later, another massive explosion. And there's worse news.
I now have a patrol trapped on the other side of the river. They were, a squads of 12, 13 Marines with some Iraqi counterparts, the National Guard of Iraq, patrolling with them, and now trapped on the other side of the river.
And no other way out.
And no other way out.
Turns out the only way out was a helicopter. The 20 wounded men were treated on site or flown to nearby bases. Each will receive a Purple Heart. For Niezgoda, it could be his second. Still following their initial schedule, the rest of the company finished their deployment 11 days later and headed back to the States and a memorable welcome.
You expect maybe that you're not going to make it home. So to land back in the United States of America in North Carolina, and get off and walk across that tarmac is a feeling I will never forget. And then coming home to Buffalo, when you see all the law enforcement, they had the bridges lined with signs and posters, and it was cold out. It was October or November, I think, when we got home, and the sidewalks were lined. I'll never forget that.
2 decades after the Battle of Hitt, feelings like victory, bravery, service, and honor remain as vibrant as ever, bright like the sun on this Saturday in West Seneca. So long as these stories of sacrifice and the vast multitude of others like them continue to be told.
These are America's heroes.
That's what I'm saying.
An Iraq Campaign Medal is awarded so their families, their relatives, their children know that their dad served their country heroically in combat. Whether they received some little ribbon that says they did something super, they all did things super. Because what they did, most humans would be terrified to do.